No need to be sorry. That's what you're sending it in for. Everybody makes mistakes.
After you, please.
Time to put on a show. Let's rock.
Okay. Nice. Schmicks. Not quite. Okay. We're mashing. Well, that's awkward. Oh, you can punish that tech forward. Good block. Good push block. Got out of the corner. Although it was a little risky to do it right over her head. 2 HP catches you there. I would probably recommend doing... It's L that goes upward, right? Whichever airball takes you upwards. You got counter hit. What were you pressing? Oh, you're just mashing. Okay. That's not gonna work. This should be dead. Drop. So, funnily enough here, you have the life lead. You don't need to approach. You can, but you can afford to play time and be patient. And Philly has the mobility to do so, because you will get caught pressing buttons like that. And now you have 20 seconds to get hit, but you did. Okay. Yeah. Thing I'm noticing immediately is you already kind of wave dash around, and I don't know if there's a whole lot of intent behind it, and I'm not really seeing very many grounded normals whatsoever. Which, especially in this point matchup, I can kind of understand. But it's actually, how'd you get hit? Yep, you can't do that. Parasol knows. Make a jab there. That works there. Okay. Neat. No, oftentimes a Parasol player will push block you out and then jab as you're approaching. That's how ideal Philly is all the time. And if they do it too much, you can catch them again with a grounded low. Your 2 medium kick reaches really far, and low profile is Parasol jab. I'm like 90% certain. Good mix. Oh, almost. So, if you're gonna push block this, unless your intent is to PBGC something, push block the last hit of it. It's kind of annoying with double because she can fast fall it, but especially for any of the characters who like to do this, so banned with jump light kick, double jump heavy punch, and pain wheel jump medium punch are the ban examples that come to mind. Trying to land on you with a multi-hit move push block the last hit, or else they're just going to stick on you, and the only thing you've accomplished is given yourself a PBGC window that people can play around. Yeah, just getting double mixed. We are mashing like crazy. Might need to tone this down a little bit. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That was good. Unfortunately, no conversion. No. Do you have these? No. Please snap immediately. Oh, don't kill there. You need to, that was really well done. But, yeah, because you never snapped, you never got any of that red health back, and, they could just look to chip you out. As a red health, you really need to be aware of your opportunities to snap and your red health. And, okay, the wrong button. It's kind of weird to get used to, but you don't need to push block there. Yes, I would have snapped in the Annie there at like a pixel of HP to get the red health back. Yeah, and we're getting punished for mashing again. And because it's Parasol, you can make the argument, because she doesn't have an air super to mash on incoming, to play for incoming and get the hit, and then snap afterwards. But you did do that, and yeah, you're really getting punished for mashing now. Oh, didn't combo. Okay. Yeah, then again, it's pretty hard for you to think about snapping when you almost never have meter because you're always mashing. I really want you to tone down how much you're mashing.
For my kingdom.
Getting burst baited as a solo is incredibly bad. And you're just kind of letting it happen to you for free. And that's not to say, never mash, it's just, if it's your option, even like 30% of the time, it will get you hit. And it looks like more than half the time you're trying to mash. Okay, good hit. Snap. Snap's debatable, but not really gonna knock you for it. And we're bursting again. That was actually really nice. Oh, and a drop. Oh man. Good drill. Confirm. Really good PBGC job. That was really good. That button's pretty good in this matchup. It kind of sucks that it scales you immediately, but getting in is your primary goal. Yeah. And so again, when you see a Parasol do this, so up forward button into jump heavy punch, or sometimes it's just raw jump heavy punch, you don't need to push block the jump heavy punch if you're up backing. So when you land cancel, you go out of recovery first, and so it's your turn. If you do it well enough, yes, you chicken block land cancel it. And depending on how well you do it, you either get a counter hit or it's your turn. And either or is pretty good for Filia. So it's definitely a hard habit to get into. I'm really bad about land canceling. I have very set in stone push block habit, so I understand, but it's just a thing to try and start thinking about. Recognize when you see it and try not to push block it and punish them. Because I don't know if you saw when you push blocked, you were right above the ground and you would have land cancelled right afterwards. Got caught. Range is really scary for dealing with Parasol. Good blocks. That was a good PBGC. We have these. No. And we just run right into a button. Magnet hands. Good luck. Group. I really want you to see you snap in the double. Oh no. And so another thing to think about, especially as a solo player, it was a little bit further back here. You can hold them and try and jockey for space, but you can also play patient and just start hitting the assist and forcing them to approach you. Especially because of the ratio, you deal a ton of damage to assists. Assists take, I think, just naturally 1.5 times the damage as the point character, and then add that onto the ratio, and you, one, really dissuade people from calling the assists, and two, put the assist on a longer cooldown, because one has to be done out of hit stun, and then two, after it's been hit, it's put on a longer lockout for them to call another assist. And so I've seen a couple times this double has been bleeding and they called it and you didn't bother trying to hit it anymore. So now it's already gotten about a third of its life bar back when it possibly could have been dead. Oh, and these drops are really rough. Yeah. Oh. Okay, that's good patience on the burst. That's not good patience, but you got really lucky with that cross-up. Oh my god. Another thing to think about, and I know I'm kind of dropping a lot on this game, because you ended up delaying, it doesn't matter as much, but when you're playing incoming, I would recommend trying to leave it not at full end dizzy. If you start a combo at full end dizzy, the combo is scaled immediately to 80, or not 80, 50%, I'm pretty sure. It's scaled a lot, TLDR. I don't remember what the exact number is. And so if you can leave a little bit of end dizzy for the first hit just to avoid scaling the shit out of your combo right off the bat, I would highly recommend. And especially if you have as much meter as you have right now, trading meter to kill them is not a bad option. The unfortunate thing for you is both your one mana, too much magic, both your 1 meter options for killing are not great for keeping the corner and keeping initiative, so it's iffy. push block. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. So the best way to deal with Parasol level 3 is you can take two routes. And this is very similar for cat heads and other things. The most like widely recommended option is just hold it. Don't push block, don't do anything, react to whatever high-low the Parasol is trying to do. Which is kind of hard because she's some pretty fast standing overheads. But it prevents you from putting yourself in a situation, and this is more for double, but it's still applicable to Parasol, where you push block, and then they get to free left right you as the push block is going on, as the push block is ending, rather. Sorry. And so the other option is to push block, risk holding the left right, but absolute guard so they can't high-low you until your push block is done. I would definitely not recommend, especially because Philia's options are pretty bad there, PBGC anything. And sure, if you want to, JP. Oh, there we go.
Hello!
Hello. It's weird trying to think about this matchup from the other side.
I have
It does last about 2 push blocks.
work brain rot and I totally forgot. Just came in, laid down, just like,
You're good.
what's supposed to be happening today?
I mean, you're not, like, it's... you're not contracted to be here or anything.
I am contractually obligated to be here.
That stands for J Pizza.
Ruh.
Back to school.
But yeah, we have a very... I don't necessarily want to call it disrespectful Philia, but lots of mashing, lots of button pressing.
Lots of button pressing. We went for stand heavy punch, which is not a bad idea, but probably not at the round start because it's committing to a heavy button. Even though it's one of the safer heavy buttons in the heckin' game.
I think they were reacting to Parasol Jump again, but they just did it too late.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to be using Philia's 2 HP for any jump ins because hers is not as good.
It was 5 HP. It just lost because it's really hard to anti or Parasol Jump if you punch.
I mean afterwards when he saw solid jump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good reaction.
Watching on stream, so I'm slightly behind.
Oh, right. Oh, shit, wait, no, my bad. Let's pause there. I forget I can't actually capture it well. There we go. Give you a sec to get set up, and we'll come back in on the pretty good PBGC.
Good.
And so, although I've been dissuading them from, like, especially in reset situations, mashing a lot, they've been doing a very good job of PBGCing block pressure. And so they've done a jab a couple of times. They've caught them a lot with Gregor. So that's one thing I'm definitely liking about how they've been playing.
First plate though. I probably wouldn't be hairballing after you block something in the air like that. Please Parasol.
Yep.
Swat you out like a fly.
Do we snap the
But
deadline?
that's all I did
No,
not
we
do
don't.
that.
Okay, so I know we talked a little bit about for red health, but snapping a corpse doesn't give you red health, which is why I recommended earlier you snap them before you killed them. But here, so here I'd recommend killing the Parasol, but if you do it while she's in the air or with a launcher, the corpse stays and you can snap it and change the order in which people come in. So this isn't for red health, this isn't for your red health, this is to get rid of all of the red health that's on the Annie. And so if you end with 2 medium punch, 5 heavy punch, or have killed them in the air, you can, as the corpse is falling to the ground, snap it out. Yes, that is why you snap dead bodies.
Yes. Yes.
So it wouldn't give you any red health, but it would just completely destroy that Annie's entire health bar.
Pretty much.
Good snap.
Well, you get the hit there, so it's fine. People always ask me, it's like, why do you do that? Like, this, and this. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, sometimes you do it just to change incoming timing, and it's really annoying.
Well, yes, change incoming time. And also just, get rid of the problem character. Oh, we're going for the hairballs all the time,
Yeah.
double can swat you out.
There's a lot of
You're not
hairballs and a
gonna
lot
do nothing
of
if you don't have
like
to.
old juice dash dancing sort of deal.
And there it is again.
Yep.
Like, that should have been a gun. Oh, no, flesh up, we didn't want that. That's good.
One sec, I'm getting bothered for deep rock.
Oh no.
I
I
gotta
thought it
do
out.
my-
What does that mean? I thought it out priorities? What are you trying to say? I do not understand. Rockin' true. Hey yo, you play the Deep Rock Galactic? You want to play sometime, bro? The PB airball. Out priorities? No, you're actually just kind of putting yourself into a hurt box situation. Like, you really shouldn't. You can just, what is Deep Rock? It's the mining gnome game simulator. It's really good.
I think you saw. I don't remember if we streamed it for you. It's what we were playing with my brother and Psalm Dry when
No,
you showed up
it's
for
not
like
gnomes. It's
one
not
thing.
gnomes.
They're dwarves.
They're dwarves. That's the one. It's dwarves. Listen.
I mean, if you're curious, you can just pop into the server. They're playing it right now, Dry. Ask one of them to stream.
It's really.
It's
really
fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm playing it. It's really fun.
Dash dancing.
Damn, we bunch. Totally fair. Try to catch it against the game.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I do recommend
Fair.
low profiling, but doing it on reaction, not predictively, because
Yeah,
this is what
not
happens when you do it predictively. Oh, he didn't burst there though. That's actually really good.
You're right. The Zolly jumps because they shouldn't have. They should just Side switch. Hey, bam, bam, bam. Schmixy. Yeah.
Gets you out, but it doesn't get a punish. Getting
Yeah.
slapped.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no,
Oh, yeah.
that's
We're
so
just kind of pressing
unfortunate.
buttons. You're just kind of pressing buttons, just dashing forward. Really should just make it the dash forward. Block dashing is even.
Block dashing is very good, especially with Philia. Just
Really
got a
good.
very
Oh,
good
you dropped
start up to her dash. Oh no.
That's juice stuff. No concern. Not unfortunate.
Good luck.
Full jump. Yeah, that's good.
And we punish with the heavy button. I like.
Missed it.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's why you don't commit to the heavy button because of the operating
And Zolly has been fishing for that for a while, and you finally got hit by it.
Oofala.
No Tarky tonight, at least right now. S- Good hit. Overhead.
Stand jab. Not exactly a schmick. The Winnie. The Winnie's pretty good. Rip. The juice conversion. Stand leg kick. Not really a schmick.
We're just pressing buttons.
Yeah, push button was probably
Yeah.
good too there. Oh man. Ah, that should have been a punish. That should have been a punish.
Very rarely is push blocking a projectile the right move.
Oh,
Typically puts you in more blocks than the projectile ever would.
yeah. Yeah, like that should have been a punish again, because you can 2 HP now. Oh,
You should have gotten punished for that.
we're friction. Yeah, we could have got punished for that too. We have 3 bar. We could have pillared that. They're really fishing for the 2 LP though. Like, you didn't have to block that because there's at the distance you were at, the hit supplement affected you, so you could have DP'd that. Makes sense. I'll drop it.
Yeah. Peacock is one of the only characters where you might actually want to be push blocking projectiles, and even then it's very specific.
Yeah. Oh, you were pressing a button?
With the exception of trying to push them into the corner with the push blocks.
And again, that should just be punished. Like, Ace has not stopped doing it, so I'm not sure. If you've dropped your combo and the opponent's blocking it, please do not commit any further, because then you're just gonna die.
They have died multiple times for it.
We have 5 meter. You should be dead. Boo. Level trace. They could have done it again. They
Yeah,
could have
they
done it
could've.
again. Okay. I mean, that was their game to lose at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, your panic option is almost always Gregor, and it has been getting you blown up, and it will continue getting you blown up more and more the further you go on. Patience is a virtue in this game.
Oh, let's start heavy punch. Please do it. Ah, it wouldn't work. Kind of weird.
Yeah, they're really timid in this space. So like, right here, not necessarily in this situation because you push blocked already, but at this range, Parasols will either be looking mostly to jab, 2 heavy punch, or not 2 heavy punch, 5 heavy punch, or 2 medium punch.
Yeah.
So this is what I was talking about grounded normals a little earlier. Your 2 medium kick is pretty good in this matchup because it will get under jab, it will beat out 5 heavy punch. The one thing it loses to is 2 medium punch. But the really if a Parasol starts committing way more to 2 medium punch than anything else, that's when you can start just not instant air dashing, but jump, delay slightly, and then air dash afterwards and get a free counter hit on the 2 medium punch. And that's kind of how this range of this matchup goes. You're trying to avoid her buttons, hit her with like the one actually reasonable range normal you have. Because your 2 heavy punch is not a great button to use in neutral or to convert off of. Ish. Yeah, it's checking
not
people's
exactly,
options.
but
Yeah.
yeah. It's not as clear cut as other matchups.
Yeah. But those are like the 3 major options she will choose. Sometimes she'll press a 2 light kick or 2 medium kick, and depending on how fast you pressed your 2 medium kick, you might trade, you might win, you might lose. It's that sort of deal.
Yeah. Get the assist. I agree with the assist touch.
Yep. Yeah,
Oh.
so low
Cancel your
profiling
report.
tiers is important to do, but you need to make sure you do it on the first one, or else the tier of flying by will then dead afterwards.
Yeah, it'll dead the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Rip.
Oh, no.
What a oh my god, they managed to confirm? We could have just delayed that, we didn't have to hold that trigger.
I mean, holding the Gregor gives you a better counter hit.
Jab.
First bait. First bait.
Overhead.
Oh, you
Oh, we already used it. Nah, we did that differently. What? I mean, you could have just done it earlier.
We don't talk about it.
But they could have just done it earlier.
We're not looking at Zolly. It never happened.
I know we're not looking at Zolly, but it seems like
Don't worry about
Zolly
it.
doesn't transition into zoning to pressure
Yeah.
as smoothly as they could be.
Yeah, get caught.
So,
This is, and this is not to like shame you or anything. The nitpicking neutral is really hard for Philia in this matchup because she's on the losing side until she gets the hit.
that's all. The dead
Cash out.
And, or no,
No.
almost on you. I would have. Okay, well. Yeah, hold that. That's rough.
Oh no.
I would
that-
not have. I would not have. Nope. Your meter's kind of important in this solo, so if you don't, you should not make an option if you don't have to.
Yeah. And I talked about this earlier. There's been multiple times where I say, I really want you to snap here, but you don't have the meter to do it. It's,
Good push block. Oh. Oh. Now everybody's picking up on my jail. Okay. No.
yeah. And again, your mashing habits are making you pay. That's 2 or 3 meter this game you used for nothing besides killing your character. Okay, that was the end of that. Biggest
That's
thing
awesome.
is patience on defense. It's helped you a lot for like bad block strings and PvDCing through that here, but especially in reset scenarios, they knew to just hold back or burst bait you. And once you start playing I don't know if I want to say better or just crazier players. So I know like myself and Yo-Yo will pillar on your PVGC timing and you'll just lose. There are ways people can keep themselves safe when they know you've PVGC'd, or when they know you've push blocked so they can't get guard cancelled on. So it's going to start giving you less and less returns as something to rely on defense. So I'm not gonna like say don't do it, especially on bad block strings, but get used to the fact you might need to hold things more, because on mix and on block it seemed like it was your option over half the time, which is just gonna get you smashed, especially as a solo. Yeah.
It matters more as a solo because you only have the options that you only have, because you're bound to the character that you got. So it's like more often than not you will have to hold things. Most people in this game don't want to hold things. Be like, no, I want to get out of this corner immediately. Like, maybe you should not, because otherwise you will die. So like, it's okay to be patient. It is okay to block, even though the what was the quote of the year at one point? Like, if you're blocking something, you're doing something wrong. That's not necessarily true.
I mean, so like an ideal perfect play, you're always in neutral or advantage, but in a game like this, you can't control that. Yeah, this is a VoD.
Yes.
And I don't want to be... No, I'm not going to tell people to just like learn how to react to things. That's not how people work. That's how I work, and that's not how...
Yeah.
But so recognizing setups is a really important thing for, one, helping yourself try and react to things, but also knowing when you have to guess and knowing what patterns you're looking for, because while it is a quote-unquote guessing game, there's also Yomi involved, where it's like, what options have they been choosing? Do they have any patterns as they're choosing an option, so I can know what side they're going, so on and so forth. And so, counterpoint. You die so much more from a Gregor than from a bad guess. Getting hit makes you lose less life, and you can also recover that life in red health. Whereas Gregor, you spent a meter to take more damage, and now you might not have meter to snap and get your health back.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't to say never mash. It's just
No.
if it's your option, even like I think I said a third of the time earlier, that's pushing it where people are gonna start knowing when you're pressing a button. I am a pretty mash heavy person, but I also will just sit there and hold something for a good 5-10 seconds sometimes. And it definitely comes with just playing the game more and knowing when enough is enough. One thing I can tell you 100% for certain was that was way too much. And then the other small things were more neutral, and neutral in that point matchup is not fun versus Parasol. So the things about Parasol we were talking about, a little bit more grounded normals. Your air dash stuff is very liable to be getting jabbed, 2 MP'd or 5 HP'd by the Parasol. So dash blocking, grounded normals, and low profiling her projectiles are really important to be doing. The other small thing I think we talked about in neutral was hitting the assist. You started doing it more towards the end, which I really liked, because I had brought it up at one of the earlier games. And there was hitting the assist and just knowing how much time you have and when you can be patient, especially when you have the life lead. If they're calling assists and kind of like saying approach me, but you have the life lead and you can hit the assist and just say, okay, I have even more of a life lead now, that's oftentimes a better option than trying to force your way in, even though you're playing the rushdown character. So those were, I think, our main points. There probably was a couple other things. I know we talked about land canceling a little bit, but I don't want to harp on that. That's just something to kind of start thinking about.
That's fair.
I'm not going to tell you to. It's something you need to have done when I don't do it consistently.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up for what we saw.